qualified genius is hard to find.
And is usually disguised as absolute madness.
The world needs
a bit of madness.
The world needs mad people
who come up with mad solutions to the maddest of problems. Eden Philpotts once said, "The universe is full of magical things awaiting our wits to go sharp."
It's the moment of truth, not a moment too soon.
To find such sharp wits ad hoc.
To be the creator of a profound creation.
To unleash that madness within.
And make future.
Join MADHACK.
The hackathon for mobile application development.
The place where mad geniuses are discovered.
With an enigma to break.
And boundaries to push.
Let's envision and manifest
a phenomenal future.
Mobile application development.
Let's take it up a notch.
To bring about an application the world is not ready for. Until now.
Carpe diem.
A very good evening to you all. I am Dewmal Handapangoda, first year undergraduate in University of Colombo School of Computing and your moderator for the day. Welcome you all to the first workshop session of MADHACK, the Mobile Application Development Hackathon, organized by the IEEE student branch of University of Colombo School of Computing. For a little bit of recap, our awareness session of MADHACK was successfully conducted on 3rd of February, covering all the details about the upcoming sessions of MADHACK, following a very interesting session and informative session with our guest speaker, Mr. Prasan Yama. Today, we will be diving into the exciting world of app development and learning the basics of native development. You'll get a brief introduction to app development and the reasons behind why native development is preferred by many developers. We'll also explore the basics of Android Studio, one of the most popular development environments for Android apps. And by the end of this workshop, you'll have a solid understanding of how to build a simple app as well as its project structure. With that in mind, it's time to get the answer for the question of the day. What is Android native development? Before handing over the session to the person who is going to unravel the answer to the question, there's a small note for our participants here today. We have opened a Q&A forum for you guys. So if you have any doubt or clarifications to make regarding the session, you can post your questions there. And the speaker and us will make sure to answer them all at the end of the session. So in order to give you a top-notch answer to the question, today we have a very important personality with us. Speaking of him, he is a senior software engineer at eGreen IT solution provider and also a blockchain developer. So let's extend a warm welcome to our speaker for the day, Mr. Dewmal Handapangoda. Hello, Mr. Dewmal.
Hello.
So how are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm happy to see you guys with this amazing session.
All right, great. So without any further delay, let me hand over the session to you. So all right then, the audience is yours, sir.
Okay, I'm going to start this session with a few slides. First, then objectives of this session is improve your knowledge about the app development, and I'm going to open you a new way to deliver your ideas because as a developers, we are doing some projects to improve our knowledge, and also we are sharing our idea to our world, introduce our world to the projects as our new thing. Then that's what I'm going to introduce you the Android developments. So first we are going to getting a knowledge about what is the app development. And here three things we need to know about the app development. First, what is the app development and what are the type of app development and why app development is so important to us. First, We prefer app development, the process of design and create and maintaining mobile applications. Sometimes we prefer app development for the web application, but the most suitable definition for this app development is it's for the mobile application developments. And we develop software to especially designed to run on the mobile application. That's why we it's a some kind of software development, but we especially design it for the mobile devices. So normally mobile devices, we know about our mobile phones, and also we have smartwatch, and also we have smart TVs, and those kind of mobile devices are also uh, consider this is as the mobile devices. And Android has power to run on all kind of mobile devices. Even in our smartwatch, we have Android applications. We have three types of app development practice in the app development. So first is the native app development, and then we can find the hybrid app development, and also we have cross application development. Native app development is they are the basic development process for the applications, because they are provide from the Android operating system developers, and also that's the most preferred way to develop applications for the uh, selected operating system. Like if we select for the Mac OS, then we have their own SDK to develop applications. With that, we are allowed to use many features from their application stack. Like you see in here, they have very wide access to their features. Like sometimes we need to access the hardware features, then native app development allow you to access those features within their SDKs. And hybrid app development is it's supported for multiple OSs, because it's use native applications and the web applications. Most of time we use them for the design our applications quickly and deliver some idea to the world. We have this kind of idea, and here is our prototype. Like those kind of development we can using developing using the hybrid app development, but nowadays they are not very preferred way to develop applications. But you can find some applications using the hybrid app development, but they have some limited technology issues, and they are not mostly used in these days. Now then we can have cross application platforms. Cross application platform development are also there, like Flutter and those kind of things. They are very similar. They have some kind of bridge to the talk with the native SDKs. Then they are not developed using the HTML or CSS. They have their own cross-platform tools to compile their source code into the native applications. So today we are going to discuss about the native web development, but you are also welcome to start getting know about these other two types. Then I will go into the why app development is so important. Here, the applications, when we developing a software, we are providing a solution for some kind of problem. Always we are doing that for the software development, and if we are doing some research or something like that in any other field like physical or chemistry, like those fields, we are also developing solutions for the existing problem. In here, we are developing software for the existing problems, and this app development has a feature. They are very connected to the user. Like in your mobile phone, you have a few applications mostly used, and you love to use those things. Most of people nowadays not using Facebook from mobile desktop application as a desktop application. They are using it as the mobile application from their mobile. So we can develop something unique and very personalized give when it can we can give personalized experience to our customers with this mobile app development. Also, normally we have 8 billion people in the world, but nowadays I think it's near to at least 4 billion devices on hand with people. So the business is growing. It's another important factor why we start app development. And also there are a lot of job opportunities for the app developments other than they just like the most of people are developing. If you have idea, you also have a mobile application implementation for your idea. It's like a few decades back, we need to have a website for developing our businesses. Like someone need to know about our business, then we are looking into the websites and getting idea. Like 2010, we have, if we have a website, it's a very big opportunity to getting more customers than any other business. Nowadays, it take from the mobile apps. So there are a lot of job opportunities are waiting for app developers. Also, app development is enhance the user productivity. Because of that, first I mentioned that because of we can more personalized application can be built using the mobile app development. So it's important to understand about the app development. Then why we need to go with the native app developments? If you check this slide again, you see there are some drawbacks with the native web developments and the cross-platform application developments. The thing is development time. If you consider about the development times, you can see longer development time is there for the native application development, and also it comes with only developing for the one platform. But if you select cross-platform application development, you can develop it application in shorter time, and you can deploy it in multiple platforms. With that, with that, these reasons behind, but we prefer native application development for some reasons, because the native application development comes from the original creator of the mobile operating system. So it has features to access than any other software development stack or library to access the native mobile application features. So if you are selecting to develop something very special for the mobile application for the operating systems, then you have to select native application development. But it depends on your use case. If you select these advantages of the native web developments, you can check this as a comparison. Advantages is we can develop high quality user experience using the native application developments, then considering it other development methods. Also, we can give users smooth and fast performance using the developments because they are very optimized for their operating system, and they know how to handle the operating systems, and they can understand the operating system differences than any other technology, because they are the creator of the operating system. Also, we can have all device feature access and the APIs, and they are optimized for the target platforms. If we developing the same application using the cross-platform or hybrid application, we have quick deployment time and quick development time, but also it comes with some disadvantage, like we need to focus on their given APIs. We cannot getting other features other than what they are providing, like those kind of disadvantages comes with the native hybrid application development. Also, sometimes we need to start the developing native application. We need to choose is this the native application development or hybrid application development. That's very important factor in your developing application, because we have native app developments and also hybrid application developments. We need to select what is the best for my application. For that, you need to understand your requirement first. If you have an application what need high quality user experience, then you need to come for the native application development. If you need some access for the device features, like if you need some gyroscope access or some sensor access, then you have to come with native app development. Also, if you have multiple resources for the separate versions, like the same application, we have to develop in Android, and also we have to develop in Apple phone version for the same application, and there are two separate code base for the same application. If you have multiple resources and it's okay with your budget, then you can go with the native development. Also, the application needs some performance, then you need to come with native app development. And also, if you're developing something very large and complex application, then it's also prepared for the native application development, because once you start the development in your app for the your minimal viable product, then it will go to the beyond. Like if you have some success product, then you need to improve the product time to time to have better experience for your customer. Because of that, you need to select this application developing native app development, so hybrid or cross-platform at the beginning. And these are the main facts if you are going to decide that. Okay. Then we need to understand about Android Studio. Android Studio is the software we are going to use to develop Android applications. This is also we are using for the cross-platform application developments in sometimes, but for that we can use a VS Code or something other tools for the development. But some points we need to use Android Studio to enhance their features. So Android Studio is a very important tool to know if you are going to be a app developer. So we will understand about basic things here, then we will go to the application and we will use it with a better idea. First, Android is the official IDE for the Android development, and it's also free and open source. It supports for Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. Also, it has a few features. Actually, it has many features, but I select few for the getting start to your understanding. First, it has a project manager. We can develop multiple projects with this project management feature. Also, it gives us a code template and suggestions to improve our application development process. Also, it has emulator. Even you don't have a device, you don't need to have a device if you are starting develop some kind of application. You can use these emulators and start developing your applications in their virtual devices. So it allows us to develop application without having the actual device. Also, it's very easy to developer to finish their applications, because some devices are very expensive to afford. So this emulator feature is very helpful for us to that part. Also, it comes with the debugging tool, and also a very important tool is there. It's a version controller. Version controller is a very important tool if you are developing applications with multiple people and in multiple like if you are developing some part for the Android, and then someone is developing server application, then this version controller are very helpful for your project development. So then I will going into the Android project structure. Yeah. Okay. we will know more about this when we are starting the developing our projects. But here I'm going to show you how application work. There are three main components there. First is manifest file and also resource folder and Java source code. These are the main thing in our application, and the manifest file doing the communication with the Android device. For that, manifest file contain all details about our resources and the Java source code. At your development, I think all of you have some experience in the application software development. So, you know, we need to have some main file or main method to run at the as the first application. We start with that main method or main file. In Java, we have main class, and C, we have void main function like this. In here, we have the manifest file, and manifest file doesn't start the application, but it has the information about what is the first file I'm going to start in our mobile application. When you click some application in your mobile phone, this manifest file will understand the okay, now it's clicking on the icon. Now I need to start the first view. That's all details contained in the manifest file. Also, manifest file has some other information. If we need the permission, like sometimes you know the application asks about the permission if you download the like when Google Map application. When you open that application, it's asked about your permission to access the location details. So that kind of details are also included in the manifest file, and the manifest file contain the icon information and all other things. Then we have the resource folder. Resource folder is the place we are placing all resources in our project. It contains very special folder, semi layouts. Layouts are the place we are going to store our user interfaces like buttons and the structure of the applications, those kind of things. Then we have the Java source code. Java source code. Using the Java source code, application understand about the user's behaviors and what should be the next, and all logic things are inside the Java source code. That's how Android application project is structured. Then I'm going to start the building simple Android apps. Here I'm going to discuss about the few things. I'm not going to develop one single application. I will developing a few applications to get your idea about these points. First, you need to have idea about the layouts and the activity. Then manifest file and the permission section. Then also you need to access the third-party libraries. Like sometimes we can use the official libraries, but some of their barriers we need to have access third-party libraries. Also, we are all going to discuss that part. Then we need to understand about the background and UI threads. Thread is very important in the application development, but it has some encapsulation methods. So you don't need to worry about the how to implement those things, but you need to have understand about how these things are work. Then you need to understand about how user experience can be designed in the application development. Also the how to create some amazing shapes and the layout elements, that kind of things. I think these points will help you to start your application development. But this is a very small part in the Android application development, because there are a lot of things. You can see the developments if you are starting it beyond that. Okay, now I'm going to open the Android Studio. For that, I will stop this session and share screen, and then I will share again my screen. Okay. If you open the Android Studio now, you can see this kind of window, and I think it will little bit different than this because I have some applications here. If you are new to development, then you will see some kind of another window, and it also has the new project section. I'm going to click the new project. First, I'm not going to develop anything, and I'm going to start discover what are the features and things in the Android Studio. For that, I'll select some this basic activity. Then next, then you will see this window. Don't change anything other than your save location. I will explain this again with another new project after this. Okay. Then you will see this kind of window, and here you can see the some progress bar, and it shows downloading and that kind of thing. Once it finished, this will be your okay. Now you need to first we have to start our emulators. Here you can see the device manager section here. You not see that you can see it from the tools and device manager. Once you click it, you will see create device. This is my virtual device, but if it is not in your place, I know, because you didn't create that before. So I'm going to create new device. This is the first thing, because you can connect your mobile phone, but for this session I'm going to use this virtual device, because it will easy to you to getting know we are in same page when at the development. Then both we should feel the same development process. Okay. Then I'm going to select the Pixel 6. There are various device selection here, and also tabs. TV, any kind of mobile devices you can create as the virtual. In here we will select the Pixel 6, and then next. Then you need to select what is the system image. This is your operating system. I have selected the Android 12 with Google APIs. There are some images without Google API, but it's recommended to use the images with Google API, because then you can access the Google Play services. Otherwise, you need to install them manually after the install of the application. But I think it's a little bit hard, so we use some system images Google APIs. And you can see the basic description about the system image. Here we have Android 12 and API level is 31. We will know about this API level and Android development versions in few minutes. Okay. Then you can create this. And also you need to select it's a portrait to landscape. Then you can see the device like this. I'll start the previous one. Anyone. Okay. This is your virtual device, and it has Chrome and everything in your mobile. This also work in here, because it's the same operating system and the device what you have in your hand. The important thing is here we can see this extended control section, and you can open this section. Here you can see the tab here. We can change the location, because sometimes if you are developing some application like Pick Me Uber kind of the application, we need to test the device location feature with our development process. For that, we can design some routes, and also we can like directions, those kind of things we can emulate in our virtual device. Here also we can share the screen, and also we can reduce our network strength, and then we can check how our application work in that kind of condition. And roaming, like all of these configurations we can face, like if you are using the mobile application in real world, then someone can face this kind of situation. So we can emulate those things in using this extended controller. For we can have the our application ready for that kind of status. Also we can select the low battery level. When I drop down the charge level, it's automatically shut down. I have to start it again. Try to finish your application with this virtual device before you open it in your mobile device, because okay, I think I compromised that. Okay, I'll open that a few minutes later. Then we can see the things. So you know about this device manager section. Then we will go to the understand about our project. Now you can see the this menu here. In here, project packages, project file, and this kind of selections. I'm going to select the project. This how your application showing the without any kind of the like in here we see only few files, but in here we can see all files in our application project. There are some folders, collab and Gradle, and that kind of folder structures is there. The important folder is in here is the app folder. It contains our application source code, and we can have multiple apps in one project. We are not going to discuss that in this session, but you can have many apps in one application project. It's actually depend on your application development pattern and your architecture and those kind of things. For now, we only need one application. Then you can see the SRC folder. SRC folder contain all source code details. And other than SRC, here you can see the build Gradle file. It also support for our development process. And I didn't mention that in our application project because it's not going to deploy in your mobile devices when we build application. It's only in your project folder. Then we have SRC file, and also we have under that SRC file test folder is there, and also unit test folder is there. Our focus is for now this main folder. That main folder contains Java folder and also test folder. These are the three things I mentioned in here. Okay. This is the main thing. First, we have the resource folder and Java source code and manifest file. These three you can see here. We have Java source code Java file folder, and we have resources, and we have manifest file. Now I'm going to run this again. I'm going to restart the whole thing. That battery test kill my application. Okay. Now okay, now we have the device again. That kind of problems I'm expecting, because I prepared everything, but it suddenly happened. Okay. I will show you the again for this panel. Now I'm going to start here. You can select the camera, and then you can test the camera feature here also. And also we have the phone section. You can dial and call device, we can send messages and see how this work. That kind of things also in there. Also we can have the directional panel, and microphone can be tested. Also fingerprint can be tested. Also we have some sensors here. We can check those sensors, and we have bug report section. Also important thing is also in there this start recording section. This will help you to show you your use case in presentation. You can emulate your application, and you can record here, then you can share it. Oops. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to start this application, what I have created before. Okay, until it's ready, I will show you where is our documentation. This is the place, like you have to know this place as your home. If you are going to become an Android developer, you have to use this document many times, because this contains all details about the development, and it has some examples, also details about the Android versions, and what are the capabilities, and what are the features it has, and what it doesn't has before, like those kind of things. you can see in this website. It's official Android documentation for the developers and the designers, and also hardware builders. Here you can see the multiple Android versions here. Android 14, Android 13, their plans and everything is there. This Android Studio application needs more resources for their operations. So I think it's better if you have more than 8 GB RAM for the development, and also you need, if it is better if you have SSD for the your development computer. It's not necessary, you can develop with the low settings, but it's better if you have those kind of hardware settings. Okay, then we have the user guide. Here you can see the all the features what we are need in our development process is down here. Then we will go about the document section. Android native developers now more prefer to use the Kotlin language than Java language. It's a another JVM language, but it has some advanced features than Java. So you will find the documents in here using the Kotlin. I didn't use the Kotlin for this session because normally at our university we know about the Java everyone. So still we can use the Java for the Android developments, and it will not going to leave the Android development. I think if they have some other better language than Java, until that it will stay with the Android development. So no need to worry about the language at the time. Now we will move into the developer guide. Here you can see many resources and the libraries and their development guidelines and the reference sample codes here. I will select the sample code. And here you can see many applications, like I'm using Java and I need to know about some example in camera, and then it will show some application sample. You can use this sample application by getting download zip, or you can use this git SSH file to get it in your computer. Also, we can select some level. We have, yeah, I'm a beginner level, and then you will see some applications with that matching your current knowledge. Then I will show you how to use the doc reference doc. Think you need to use the GPS. Then you need to reference GPS and Android. Like now you are going to develop some application using for the access with the GPS. Then you need to find some example using the GPS, because we have the idea, but we don't know how to do that. So we need to get started from somewhere. So the best way to start the application, if we don't know about the development process, we have to find an example or some kind of document. That's the first place we need to find for the developing our application. So I found the here. Then we have some guideline. Also, we have yes, additional resources, and also we have samples and that kind of thing. This will help you to start your application development with GPS. Now I'm going to this again. Still, I'm not start the development. Still, I'm introducing you to the Android and Android application structure and the API guidelines. Now, if everything okay, then you can run your application. Then you can see this play button and this panel here. With selecting this play button and press it, will start building process. First thing is your source code is there and you have finished your developments, and then you need to build your application to create some kind of like package what understand about from the Android operating system. That's what I'm going to use this build section. Am I still with you or until? Okay, I will start the okay, now it's okay. So okay. After that, I will share this document. I have created I will share this document with you, and we are going to start from here our application development session in 10 minutes. Now I have finished this part. Also, I will share this document, and you can go through again in this sections, and then we will start from here. Okay, I will give you 10 minutes time. Okay, 5 minutes break, I think.
Yes, Mr. Dewmal. So thank you for the first session. So I can say that we are off to a fantastic start. Now that the first part of our session is complete, let's take a short break and gear up for the next set of activities. Here is an exciting news for all the MADHACK delegates. The moment you all have been waiting for is finally here. Our exclusive MADHACK t-shirts are now available for purchase. So you can place your order through the link in the chat that we are going to put right now. And you can place your purchase through the MADHACK website. And while you're at it, why not to take a short break? So just make sure you don't wander too far, because the second session will second session for the day will start in just 5 minutes. All right, welcome back everyone to the first workshop of MADHACK, the Mobile Application Development Hackathon. We are ready to dive back into the session, so let's get started. So without any further ado, let's give Mr. Dewmal the floor. Mr. Dewmal?
Yeah, I'll start. Okay. When you click this, okay, now my virtual device is working. I hope you will see you can see the situations in app development. So start developing today, because this will come with more issues and things at the first time you experience with the development. So better to start earlier. Okay. Then I have the application, and if everything is ready, then you can see the this play button. Then you can run your application. Once you run the application, you can see the application in your emulator, and then you can select the buttons and things. Yeah. That's what we start from our beginning. Now I'm going to use new project with the basic idea of the project creation and the other things. Here you can select the new project, and then I'm going to select no activity selection in here, in next. And now I'm going to change my application name, my first application. And then here is the main ID for your application. If you're going to Play Store, I'm not sure why. This is the place when you finish your application developments, you put your application. Then other people can access it from the Google Play servicing your mobile phones and others mobile phone. As when we see the web application, we see this as the domain name, and the this is the IP address and domain name where we use the locate our project. Here they have the package name. This package name is unique for your application. If you develop multiple applications, then this package name will change. So the selection of the package name is very important part for your application development, because once you select the application and after you deploy it into the Google Play Store, you cannot change that application package name. It will be unique app ID, and it will recognize others. This is your application ID. So normally we use it like that. First, we will normally we use our company name or something, and or our website name. Here I will select if this application developed by Google, then they select this as from Google. Then once we finish our company details in here, then we are starting to branching it with our branches and departments. Now I'm going to develop some application to Play Store. Then I will select Play. Then I'm going to develop the application for user experience. Then this section. Then what is my application? First, my application. With this pattern, you will always find unique ID other than other applications. If you not select some unique ID here, you will end up some issues when you are going to deploy it to App Store. I'll show the Play console also for you to get idea. I have few. When you're going to create application, they have this section, and app name can be anything. I will select it as and I have to select its app for it's free or paid. We can change it later, and I need to accept these things. Then I'm going to create the application. Once you create the application, you will see this kind of dashboard, and there you need to release your application. Here you have a place to upload your application. Once you upload first your app bundle here, then it will load your package name for your application. And you cannot change it later. I will open some. Okay. Actually, currently I don't have any public application, but but I can show you how it works. See, these things have the package name here. So you need to select the package name carefully. You cannot change it later. And don't take too much time for that, because we are thinking too much and we are selecting a lot of details here. Then we need to find the save location. This is also in your preferred location, and also you need to select what language you are using, Kotlin or Java. Here I'm going to use Java, and also you need to select minimum SDK, because when we have the mobile phone before 2018 or something like that, then we have different operating system than today. So it's not a problem for the web developers, but in app developers, you need to get idea about what kind of application you are developing and what kind of device you are supporting for your application. If you are selecting this kind of application, then it will support all devices. But this has some old features, and there are a lot of features not available what we have it currently in our mobile phone. So we have to select some middle section, and their preferred version is 7.15 and API level. This is also depend on your project. It's okay to select 4.1, but be careful with that selection, because if you need to support multiple peoples, and you need to select what is the minimum SDK, but you have to careful with what are the features you also want to share with your users. So, but this can be changed later. It is not like this. You can change it later. And also you can select use legacy and Android support like this, but it is not necessary for the beginning. Okay, now I'm going to finish the create project. Take a little bit time with this Android Studio thing, because it is the most important tool for your app development when you are working on the mobile application and Android applications. So if you know more about this Android Studio, it will be easy for your development part. Like a lot of shortcuts and a lot of tools also in there. Okay, now our device is here, and also you can see the new versions of the mobile phones can be connected using the Wi-Fi. No need to connect it with the USB cable. You can connect it with Wi-Fi also. It's supporting here. Okay, now we have the application. Now I'm going to start the application without doing anything. Now I'm expecting an error. Yeah. I have the error. You can see the errors in here. This is our main panel for identify what happened in our application. It shows could not identify launch activity, default activity not found. It means the application need to have a default activity. So we have to add that default activity here. Before that, I will show you the logcat section. This logcat is also a very important place for identify application status because it contains all device all messages, all log things can be identified in here as a very useful way, and everything is here. So you need to filter those things using this section, like with prefix, and I want. Then I can see this section. And Android Studio made it easy for us using this run section. It filter out our application logging things, and it shows in here. So we don't need to open this logcat, but sometimes we have to open that because there are some issues and we need to go deep. So solve that issues. So okay. Now I'm going to create the first Android activity. It's nothing but a Java class with extending Android activity class. My activity name is my first activity. Okay. Now I have my activity class. Now I need to create this as a activity. Otherwise, it will not identify as an activity. For that, I need to extend this activity. Okay, now it's an activity. We have to do some things with that. Also, you can see this. I have shared that document with you in your chat. Please open that and you can see the more details. Here I'm going to make this activity as our main file. For that, I need to open this section. As I said earlier, Android manifest file is the main place which is going to identify by the Android operating system. And here we need to mention what is our activities and what are the features, what are the permission we are using. Everything you should identify, you should put in here. For that, I'm open this application, and this is a XML file. Hope you guys have some knowledge about the markup languages. You also I know you also have experience with the HTML. This is a very similar to the HTML, and HTML is another branch of the markup languages, and this one is XML is also markup language, and both HTML and XML files are very similar with comparing their structure and the features. Here we have the application section, and then we need to create activity. I'll use some code copy paste because otherwise it will take more time. First, I'm going to start. I need to name the Android name section. Fill the Android name section. This our activity name. Now I have the activity file. Now I'm going to open the application again. But it still shows us we cannot find the they cannot find the default activity. For that, I need to notify Android operating system. This is our main activity file. It's like a we know where is the main class and the things for the Java application. Otherwise, our application will not start. Also, in here, we have to make sure this is our main activity file. We need to mention it in here. For that, I'm going to use intent filter. If you find some new words here, my suggestion is start copy this one and open the. Where is it? Okay. Sorry. Open the developer. And put it in here. then you will find some amazing guideline about the activity and what is its features and the things. Then there are a lot of things you need to understand about the app development, but it's not necessary to start learning them without reason, because there are a lot of things now if you are using the what is the render script and you are learning about the render script, but you are not going to use it. So keep them away until if you need them in your application. So I'll show you how it works. Then you can see more details about this intent filter. Intent filter is we are adding some information about our activity in our manifest file. Okay. You can copy paste those code sections from your given document. I'm going to use the same. And be careful with this copy paste because when you copy paste, there will be some errors, because now when I create the example document, I use the my activity. Now I'm using my first activity. Those kind of things can be in there, because for that don't use the copy paste without knowing what's happening. First, you understand about the things what I'm going to use and what is this purpose, and then you okay with the copy paste. Okay, with that, okay, now we have the screen and there are no this interface because we didn't implement anything here. We have the white screen and our error was vanished. Okay. Now we need to create a layout. For that, I'm going to use this resource folder, and now I cannot see any layout folder here, but if you see select your previous application, it has some layout folder. So I have to create it manually. I'm going to create it manually in new directory layout. It's okay to create them manually because this is this panel, this is generated version of our application, but we use without any kind of generating things our application here. So it's okay to create, then IDE will start identify your folder structure and it will support you what you need to develop those layouts and the things. Then we have the layout. Now I'm going to create a new layout file. This layout is the place we are going to define our user interface features. Like if you need a button, then we put that button design and the things in the this layout section. That I'm using the layout new resource layout resource file, or I will use the first with the normal file, and then I will show you how it works. Then you will understand about the behind the scene steps of the development of the layout. Okay. I'm going to name it as my layout.xml. It's also XML file. Okay. See, if I use the correct details and the things, then it will open designs and the other required panels for the development. Okay. Now I have the empty file. Then I need to add some layout here. For that, you have the section called design section, and also we have a split section because sometimes we need to edit our code, and then we can see the what's happened in the layout and things. Then we have the only code view. Normally, if you are developing more applications, you will eventually start using code section without using this design section, because this is easy to start development, but when you are going with larger project and when you are improving your knowledge, this is a little bit like it's a little bit difficult to use this design section than code section. As a beginner, you can use the design section no issue. For that, first we will add some layout. I'm going to use this linear layout section. Okay, for that, I need my first application code here. I'm going to use this code here. Okay. Now we have complete our layout section. This I will explain this. This first line is showing what is the XML file version and the encoding things. This is an important line because without that, this will understand. This studio will understand, but if you are using it in somewhere or any other places, it will be a problem if you are not using this version and the encoding things. So it's better keep that line. Then you are starting a linear layout and the thing. This is very similar to the HTML page. If you open this any kind of page, it is the same structure. I'll open it like this. Okay. See, this is also XML file, and it is this HTML section, and it also has doc type HTML. The same structure goes in here. Okay. I will delete this and I will show you how to create it without worrying too much things. Now you know what's happened there. And resource layout file. Now you have the nice window and you can put your layout name. And then you have to select what's the root element. Here I'm going to use linear layout. Then source it, and others are not. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about at that time. You can see more details about these methods here. They have some state level state management system for the activity. First, we create when activity created, it will start on create, then only start, and those kind of steps are available for the activity. And it is you can see the more details if you select Android activity. And in the documentation. I'm not going to go deep with those details. They are available in your preference in documentation. So then I'm going to set content view r dot layout dot my first layout. Now we have the connection between the layout file and the activity file. The main thing is you need to understand this R prefer the resource folder and then layout folder, and under that layout folder, what is the file name without extension. Okay. Now we have the button here because we made the connection between button and the our activity file. Then I'm going to with the when I click the button, I need to show something in the console. For that, I need to access the button. This is very simple and this is very easy to remember because they have very simple naming. Yeah. I need to find view by ID. I'm going to find the view by ID. For that, r.id has some ID button. This button ID is not the constant value. We can change that. Here you can see the button. I'm going to change it as the BTN, my first button. Then you can it as BTN, my first button. Okay. Now we have the connection for the button, and I'm going to assign that connection for button variable. This button you can import Android widget, and now we have the access for the button. Then we can add some text here. I will add some text, my first button. Then now it has the button. Then once I run it, it will show my first button. Here you can use the this activity refresh section for the refresh your application. Okay, now you can see this change to my first button. It means we have a successful connection for the button. Then I'm going to add button on set on click listener. This means I'm going to set the event listener for the on click listener. It's actually we need to implement this on click listener class. This is the inner class. This needs little bit of your Java knowledge for the implementation. I'm going to show log file in here, log.py. Then I need to put some tag. I'm using my and then I'll show the button click in here. You can see this here. It means you successfully connected it to button, and then you have access for the button on click method. You can also see these examples here. And now I'm going to add some text for the user interface. For that, I'm going to copy paste this section from my previous documents, but you can start developing them one by one with drag and drop. Okay. Now I don't have the BTN access. Now I'm going to remove these things, and I will use the same code section for implementation, and I will explain what's happened there. Okay. Now I have the text view. It's also a widget like button here. My layout text view. Then I have access for that, and then I'm not going to assign it into the variable, but instead of that, I am using the reference, and then I add the set on click listener here. Then I'm going to change the text view details once we click there. Now it change into Android. So hello world word change. Okay. Yeah. I have created the document with some details, step by step, you to understand about the situations and what is going on the example. Then I need to show you how to connect with the external API, because when you are development your MVP, I hope you are willing to connect with some third-party servers and those kind of things. So I will share the little bit details about how to connect with external API. For that, I am going to use this Rapid API, and I need to log in for that. For the login section, I'm going to use the login with GitHub. Then I have select the translation. Select the Google Translate API. The very deep, I'm not going to deep, but this is a very important example for you, I think, because when you are development of the MVP, you are hackathon, this kind of example will help you to speed up your development. Okay. Yeah. Once you create this account, you can access multiple APIs. And now I'm going to use this Google Translate API and connect with this Translate API to get idea about getting the things from that API. So it's normally allow us to. I'm going to change the ZS mean. I'm going to translate this hello world into some Chinese translation. So, this survival string into, then it translates it into the this Chinese text. We can do it as a basic example, but it will need a lot of time to go through one by one steps. For that, because of that, I will start from the last example, and you can see it from here. Like I put the basic code step by step, then you will understand if you're doing from here step by step. But I'm going to use a few things and then I will explain how it works, and then you can use it in your project. Okay. First, I'm going to change the layout. Now I'm going to close this first example. Keep this. Now we have a place for enter our text, and then I have a button, then I have a text view for show the translated things. Now I'm going to clear this part. And then I'm going to use this code section. Now we have access for the our input text, and then button, and also the showing the result. For now, I'm going to add the translated text with the I'm going to fill it with the type text and the translated text without connecting our API, because then we can start identify about what's happening. Once I clicked it, it show the name because I didn't connect it with the our third-party APIs. Then I'm going to show you how to connect with this API. In here, you can see that they have multiple coordinate snippets with multiple languages. Here, I can select the OKHTTP section. This OKHTTP library has Android version also, so it's easy to use this code without changing anything. For that, I need to have access to the third-party library. We can have there are available a few libraries like Google Volley, and also it's supporting for connect with the third-party APIs to the HTTP and HTTPS. For now, I am using the OKHTTP because it has reference to use it in here. So when you go to the library section, first thing is you need to find how to connect it with your application. It go a little bit down or something like that, then find to check the releases. Yeah. They have releases and it's showing some single line of code, and we need to put this code line in correct place in our application. I'm going to copy this one. And our application has this Dewmal scripts. As I mentioned earlier, Dewmal scripts are responsible for our libraries and the things for the development session. Then I will select the build.gradle file, and then you can see the dependency section. There are a lot of configurations there, but I'm not going to explain those configurations now. I'm only using this dependency section. This dependency section has the what are the libraries we are using, and what are the libraries, third-party libraries and official libraries. Everything goes here. So I paste it into this section. Once you change the dependency section, you will see some button here as a sync now. Then press that button. Then the library will automatically download into your library folder. You can see that these external libraries here. There are multiple libraries in our application. Currently, we had OK HTTP com. OK HTTP. Now we have the library access. Okay, now we are ready to get this thing into our application. Now we need to put that part into our button on click listener here between these. When you press the button, the steps are like this. When you press the button, we get the what is the type text, and then we are passing it into the third-party API to get the translated version of the text. For that text, I need to add here because the Q is the parameter, and I'm going to use that text. Then I need to import these libraries. Once you successfully import the library file, then you can use this, and import class will work. Okay, now we have some exception here. When you click here, you will see some options, and the suggestion window will be pop up, and it will suggest what's happening here. Hope you know about the try catch thing. This means this execute function throw some exception, and we need to capture it without throwing them. So I'm going to use the exception. Hope you know about the how to catch the exception with correct hierarchy. Do it without capturing the like. This is not good. This is very bad developer practice. So better to use the required exception in exceptional hierarchy. Okay. Then we have the response, and I'm going to take that response as a response. Then before the showing it in our text view, I'm going to see it using the log.file. Also, I need to mention you something about this log file. Here, create some static variable. Create this one at the beginning of your activity. When you create the activity, create this one, because this is very important. If you are using the same activity for the logging, it's better use the same log tag for in single activity. Otherwise, you will it will be a mess if you find it in here, because you know there are some sections like if you need to select my first application, you have to put it in here. Then you will see the logs in selected formatted, and the it will be easy for the development steps, because don't make things complex, because if you complex things, it is hard to solve the problems when you're facing with the complex structure. So everything keep simple, then you will find better solution for the upcoming issues and the exceptions. Okay. Then now I can run the application. Okay, name is also in there. Then I will put run. Okay, now I press some error. This is a I expect this error because I need to show you something. This error says OS network main thread exception. There are some process we cannot use this kind of scenario, because the Android comes with the multiple thread. Yeah. They have two different set of the thread. One is the main UI thread and other one is background thread. Main UI thread does not allow to operate network operations and DB queries and file upload. Long operations are not allowed in the UI thread. They are separated by the design, because when we doing some network operation, we are not expecting result on time. That can be delayed. Results we don't have any guarantee if we call the HTTP or HTTPS API, get the result at the within few minutes or 1 minute or 1 day. It's not a, there are no guarantee, but we will have the response within milliseconds of time, but there are no guarantee. So because of that, the background thread need to use for those kind of operations. Those are not allowed by the design. Because of that, I'm getting this exception. For that, if you are using this kind of operation, we need to use these methods in a thread. Then once we create the thread with runnable, we need to start it. Then it will be a separate thread. Hope you know about the threads. Otherwise, please check about the thread. It's not a longer, like a difficult session for the lesson for the kind of you guys. So it will be easy if you know about the details. Okay. Then I'm going to start it again. Then I'm getting another issue. This is called permission denied, because I didn't ask for permission for the internet. So I need to ask permission here. For that, I need to use permission. There are multiple permissions here. Now I need internet permission. Then Android OS will allow our application to access the internet. If you need access like file, yes, delete packages, install shortcut, then you have to mention what are the permissions I need for my applications. So I need to mention them here. those are very small facts, but it's better to know when you start the development. Otherwise, you will end up with some unnecessary things. Okay, now it's work, and I have the translated text. Now I need to show it in here. For that, I'm going to use this here. Okay, before that, I need to convert this response text into, then now it has the string format. We need to convert it into the JSON format. We cannot access the string format and with the string format, we cannot get the what is the translated text. Actually, it doesn't mean you cannot build something like a string tokenizer and get the answer in here, but it will be a difficult part. So we need to use the JSON object for access that. That also I have put some codes here. I will remove other things and show you how it. Okay, now we have the response text, and there is some another exception it's throwing. I need to cache it here also. It show the JSON exception. Now we have the response JSON, and then I need to access. This is a data, and it's also a, another JSON object. So JSON object. JSON get data. Get JSON object. Then translated text comes in an array translations. Then I need to access it. JSON array translation data. If JSON array is the name of translation. Then I'm going to access this object again with this translation and JSON translation array first element. So index is 0. Then I have the access for the translation object. Now I have the access for this, and I'm going to get the string from that translation. This is how you going to access the JSON object step by step. Then I'm going to show the translated text here. Still, I'm not using it in here. The translated text here. Okay, now I'm going to use this in here. Now it's work, but in here I do the some it's a very big error actually. It's working, but it's not best practice because I use this UI object inside the another thread. So this is not the way how we are going to connect with the other threads and the main thread. For that, we have some object called a handler. We need to use it like this. Because if you face some deadlock or something like that, then your application will be crash, and it is very difficult to find that kind of exception if you get when you are developing something very big project. And once you face that kind of project, you need to debug every codes to find what is happening and what did I do wrong. So it's better if you are doing it at the beginning, that kind of mistakes, avoid that kind of mistakes. For that, Android have some handler, and then it has post. Then I need to put runnable here. Then I can use the translated text in here, and it's allowed. Because last time I used the first I use the background operation, network operation from the main thread. Then it will it shows the some there is a some restriction practice you are using. Then it give me error. But when I use the another thread and the main thread, there are no exception. But it can be cause a very big issue at the future of the development. So I used this handler option and show it in our application. Okay. I'm also doing it before. Now it's correct. Last time I forgot that we need to create the handle object inside the UI thread. Then I can access it from other threads to show the results. So this is the very simple way to access the network activities. But the preferred way is the most preferred way is we need to use background processing. And Android services. Here is some amazing library for that. You can use this one. Yeah. I'll put this link at the comment section here. I didn't put it here. Please look at that thing, because the reactive program is another perspective, another version of the developing the application, and it has some methods to multiple connect with multiple threads and things without having that kind of pain. Okay. Okay, then I will show you some design example. Okay, hope you understand about the development, how to connect with the third-party APIs. There are a lot of things available to I have available to share with you, but this limited time, I select these two examples and the things. Now I'm going to show you how to create this kind of user interface. For that, in early days, we don't have this Figma or Adobe XD like tools. These tools currently helping us to design our applications without developing codes. So there are new jobs open with that tools. You heard someone like the UI designers, and then they are using Figma and Adobe XD like tools. You can see the things here. This is not actual application, and this is some kind of user interface, and it's a it's like a Adobe Illustrator, that kind of tool. We can create beautiful application using this tool, and we can implement those applications with this UIs in our application. For that, we need to get started with another. I'm going to create another layout file. And also I'm going to create another and I'm going to make this activity as my first activity. Okay, now I have that activity and I'm going to close other things. And then I'm going to open this one. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to open this and get the code from here. We don't have much time to for the things, but I will explain how it works. Yeah, I'm going to take this code and the final output will be this header file. Okay, now we have some error here. One is the header file and rounded button and close text. These are come some prefix with drawbells. Drawbells are, you can find the resource folder drawbells here, but they don't have this resource if you are using IC launcher. Now it like this. See. Okay. Now I'm going to use the this header and rounded button and the close X. This drawbells mean these are some objects. They are showing some drawings. Drawings can be a XML file or some PNG or SVG file. First, I'm going to get this. Yeah. Now you can see there are some background here with some image. I'm going to export this by selecting the header here, and I'm disabled the other things, and I'm going to export the header. Then it will download into your download folder, and I'm going to copy paste it into the drawable. Okay, now it's showing some error because these drawables need to access from our r.layout file. Yeah, you remember that r.id file. Also, same r.drawable file available. Then you have to access this file from this r.drawable. For that, you cannot use this name here because yeah. This is an invalid naming conversation for the Java. That's simple. Because of that, we cannot use names like that. Because of that, use like this. Then this error going to disappear and header will be there. Then we can okay. Now we can see the background here. Then I'm going to also use the close X. Close X button is this one. I also downloaded it before, so I am going to use the same button. This one. If I'm going to also put it in global, and now we know about how to use that name. So, 6. Okay. Now we have that button, but still we cannot see the UI. So we need to have this rounded button. Rounded button is the XML file. Actually, I created it as XML. Yeah. Global. Okay, from this view, it doesn't allow me to create a global. So I'm going to create global resource. Then you can select multiple root elements. For that, I will keep that done, and I'm going to copy paste the that thing. Okay, I can design it here. Now I need a shape, and this XMLNS file is required here. Now this is my rounded button. Now then we can go. Okay, now we have the button like this. It's not similar to this button, so I'm going to make it like that by changing this color, and it should be, and the shape should be oval. Now it is similar for the this section. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take only 5 minutes, then I will stop this session. Okay, give me 5 minutes. Hope you get to understand about the how to use this XML file, and how to use it in our designs. It is a very useful thing if you are developing something very specific user interfaces. Then I will use this layout here. Okay, now we have the text box and the task title, and still we don't have the beautiful element like this. For that, we also need another this drawballs called edit text background. With that, you can see the UI here. This will be another useful tool for the Android development, because the customer or your idea will be developed, can be developed inside these Figma tools and the XD tools. Then when you start developments, you don't need to worry about the things like customer will change the color, or other members will like the color. Nothing you not need to worry about, because everything is finalized in the Figma file. And you also need the thing is, you only focus is in there how to design these user interfaces. Okay, these are also available in free. There are multiple Figma files available, and also they're available for free to start design those kind of user interfaces. So you can extend this interface for your project. Okay. Okay, with that, I'm finishing the session about the developments. And okay, yes, I didn't leave anything behind. You guys what I prepared. Everything I have finished here, but it's important. You have to start again this session, and I think you have the record access for the session record. Then keep development start from today. It will help you to start your application development. Okay.
All right, Mr. Dewmal, thank you. So your session was well received and the insights you gave were really inspiring. So now it's time for our participants to come up with their questions, and our speaker is here to clarify them all. So participants, you can direct your questions to the link we provided earlier. And right now we have already received some questions from them. So let's proceed with those. And while we discuss them, you can send us more questions if there's any. So the first question they have asked is, what is the path you suggest for a person who is willing to continue learning native development?
Yes, there are a lot of available YouTube resources for this kind of beginners. So my advice is getting started some kind of a project, like find some use case. Otherwise, you will doing some hello world projects and those kind of things. If you find a use case, then you will going to learn things related to that use case, because if you don't have a use case for the application, you are not developing something useful to you, or you are not learning like a useful thing, why I am using this application. Only thing you will understand about, I can use this kind of thing, then GPS will be allowed. But you don't know about how it deploy it into the Google Play Store, and you don't know about how it behave when it has in the customer hands. Those kind of things you will be missing. So my advice is start with the simple use case and then keep developing it at the beginning, from the beginning.
All right. So there's another question. What about the job market for native development these days?
Yeah, native developers have a lot of opportunities as the same of the other hybrid and cross-platform developers, because as I mentioned earlier, native apps are comes with high performance apps, and also we can customize user interfaces very attractive way. Last you can see you saw that implementation of the buttons and things. We can develop any kind of user interfaces using the native development. So the requirement for the native development in the job field are getting higher than time to time other times then. So it's better, like there are no worry about we will not have the native developments because of this Flutter and the other kind of frameworks.
All right. So third question is, what are the popular native app development platforms?
Popular native app development platforms are Android is one, and then you can go in with the Apple SDK for the develop their own application. Also, the Microsoft also offering some their own platform for developing Microsoft application, but Microsoft mobile phones are not popular than Apple and Android, so it has some lack of requirement than comparing other two.
So there's another question. What are the best practices in native development as you think?
Yeah, best practice, please use version controller, and always make things simpler. I mean, if you are developing anything, start from the simple version, then complex it if actually it needed. Otherwise, don't make them complex. I mean, if you have selection for the library, for third-party library, and also the same can be done with the SDK and the provided way from the Android, then use the provided way for the Android other than using the third-party libraries if you don't have any specific requirement for that library. Because when we are using the more libraries and the things, our application will be more complex, and it will have some other third-party dependencies. Within the third-party dependencies, in the future, if you need some improvements on your app, or you are developing port it into the another version of the Android, it will be difficult if you are depending on more third-party applications. So make things simple, then complex it if you need.
All right. And we have one more. If we focus on both Android and iOS development, what are the alternative tools we could use for
native developments for iOS, because they are not allowing to install their export version in our Windows or Linux operating system. We have some methods we can hack their OS, and then we the thing is they don't allow to install export in our Windows applications, but with the Flutter and also Xamarin, like development libraries and the framework, we can develop both iOS and Android applications, but they are not native applications. They are some cross-platform applications. If you need to develop both Android and Apple iOS applications, you have to go with Apple desktop or laptop or something like that.
All right, so those are the questions that we have received so far. So participants, if you have any more questions, you can ask them now. And if there are no more questions, I would like to thank you, Mr. Dewmal, for those explanations, and our participants for directing those questions to us. So let's take a moment to extend a warm welcome round of applause to our guest speaker of the day, Mr. Dewmal. Your dedication and your expertise in preparing for this workshop were truly evident in the engaging presentation that you delivered. So on behalf of everyone in attendance, I would like to express our sincere gratitude for the time and the effort you invested in making this workshop a success. Token of appreciation, sir.
Thank you, and it's also a pleasure to part of this hackathon, because I have experience in early days. I also go those hackathons as a student, and I have real experience in. They are not virtual and they are physical ones, and now we have the virtual one. However, I'm very happy to contribute my knowledge with you guys, and I'm also happy to share it in future. And I wish you all the best for this hackathon event.
All right, thank you so much, sir. It's great to hear from you. So with that, we have come to the end of today's workshop. We hope that all our participants enjoyed and grabbed something valuable for you. So our next workshop will be on site, which we will let you know soon. It will be taking place on 18th February. And this workshop will cover exciting topics in the tech world, including React Native, Flutter, low-code, and deployment. And with hands-on activities and interactive sessions, you will have the opportunity to dive deeper into these cutting-edge technologies. But be quick, because only the first 300 participants will have the chance to join the physical workshop. So don't miss this opportunity to take your skills to the next level. So register now and secure your spot for this can't miss event. So before ending the session, a kind reminder to you all to add your precious feedback through the link we provided in the chat and in your delegate group about today's session. So thank you all the participants here today for joining the workshop and for staying with us until the end. And this session was a triumph because it's all thanks to your contribution. So until we meet again, stay safe and keep learning. Good night, you all.